I'm Steve McKechnie and we are Dwello Property.
I'm David Gibb and you can find us at 117 to 119 Byres Road, Glasgow, or get us by telephone on 0141 357 3579. Stephen, what inspired you to set up Dwello?
David, I have been a professional property investor since 1999. In that time I've built up a considerable size property portfolio, and over that time I've dealt with a fair amount of letting agents, more than I care to remember, and I always thought for the last few years that I could set up and operate a really bespoke letting agent, using my experiences from dealing with the letting agents, mirroring some of the things that they do well and improving some of the things they do not so well. For the last few months I've been going to recruit some employees that I've been impressed with working with them over the last few years, and I think the timing of this has been really good because we've seen a consolidation in the market, whereas there's some larger corporate letting agents buying up some smaller letting agents, and I think that's taken away some of the personal service for landlords these days. David, what's Dwello's USP compared to our competitors?
Well, that's a great question, Stephen. For me, it's going to be about our communication with our clients. I'm really keen to get our property managers having a relationship with their landlords similar to that of their accountant or their tax specialist, so that they can pick up the phone and ask their letting manager for advice regarding the ongoing management of their asset. So Stephen, what frustrations have you had with letting agents in the past?
Communication, I would say, David, used to frustrate my office and myself regularly. For instance, in some letting agents, if you phone up regarding a checkout, you have to speak to the checkouts team. If you phone up regarding arrears, you've got to speak to the arrears team. If you phone up regarding photographs that's perhaps not quite 100%, you've got to speak to the marketing team. I think a customer should have one point of contact, and then it's up for the letting agent to deal with internally.
Yep.
That used to frustrate me. Another thing that really frustrates us, and it's massive, I think, if you are a landlord, is arrears. I see so many letting agents constantly relying on emailing tenants who's in arrears.
Yep.
I would prefer a more proactive response, phone calls or visits to the property if they're not responding. I think it's very easy to ignore an email, but if someone's actually at your door or phoning you, it's a lot harder to avoid.
Yep.
David, what social media platforms can we find Dwello?
Well, we've engaged the services of a fantastic marketing manager, Mary Munoz, and Mary's joined us and will really be pushing forward our social media presence going forward.
Okay, can I ask what platforms that's going to be on?
Yeah, we'll be on all the major social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. And you can also visit our website at www.dwelloproperty.co.uk.
And is it safe to say that these are essential now, dealing with some of the other younger generation?
Absolutely. You'll see most people are on their phones these days, Stephen, and that allows us to, communicate directly with our tenants.
David, I've sat here and it seems to be I just complain about letting agents all the time. There must be another factor to it. What do you enjoy most about being a letting agent?
It's a great question, Stephen. I think for me, first and foremost, it's people. You will meet a wide variety of people from all walks of life when you're a letting agent. That's landlords who are from the UK and from further afield who have invested in property in Glasgow, and you will also meet a wide variety of people who come to Glasgow to either study or to work, and it really, that's the part I enjoy, is because it's a big move for people and it's getting them to feel comfortable and settled and find them a good property. That's what ticks the boxes for me at the end of the day.
Over my career, David, I think the principles of renting out property is the same as it has been when I started 2 decades ago. What I have noticed is the big difference in technology. and technology that a lot of the agents are using now. David, what technology has Dwello invested in?
We are going to, we're coming to this with a clean slate in terms of our systems. So we've invested in our main CRM is called Repit, and that allows us to plug into a number of other best in class systems such as Fixflow for reporting maintenance, PayProc for allowing tenants and landlords clear visibility of their accounts, and also we've engaged with Goodlord, who will assist with our compliance process and with our tenant lease signing process. But one thing that I think is key here is, as a letting agent, we want technology to help us and do some of the heavy lifting, but we don't want that to take away from, you know, our letting agent, our letting managers, and our property managers picking up the phone and communicating with our landlords and our tenants.
Good. From a landlord, over the last few years, it's not just Glasgow, I would say it's Scotland, with obviously the rent restrictions coming into place. They were in for a few years, which is a real challenge for landlords. These have been lifted now, so I think it will be a bit easier going forward. But I also think it's a very regulated space now. There's a lot of new regulations that's been brought in, and in Glasgow in particular, we've also seen an influx of kind of BTR investments, which is sometimes saturating the market, albeit thankfully it's at the higher end of the market and has been attracting a lot of, say, like, for instance, foreign students.
Yeah, certainly. I think we're seeing you know, a competitive market space for tenants as well, and that is really a knock-on effect from the changes to the legislation, which have seen new investment into the market certainly slow down. Tenants are now finding that they've got to run a bit faster to secure a tenancy, and obviously there's a space where an agency such as Dwello, we can help our landlords really put their property front and centre, and ensuring we're finding the best tenants for that property.
I would still think that property is a good investment. I wouldn't like to be starting again, that's for sure. I think over the last few years you've seen it's a far more regulated space. You've now got the 8% ADS surcharge, and also you've seen like tax benefits taken away. So I wouldn't say not to invest in it, I would just say it's to do your sums on it.
Yeah, I would certainly agree that the investing in property is still a great opportunity for people looking to diversify their portfolio. I would encourage them to ensure that they were structured correctly for tax, as this has changed over the last number of years.
And what I would also say is it's the old adage, it's location, location, location. You've got to do your homework on a location.
Well, certainly as a letting agent, I would be suggesting that landlords should look out for letting agents who are maybe mentioned on the Housing and Property Chamber website. Do your research, make sure you're using a trusted and well respected agent. Always somebody who has local market presence is a key factor. But certainly look for Google reviews just to see and get a flavour of how the letting agent is interacting with tenants, who are most likely to give open and honest feedback at the end of a tenancy, and you'll get a real flavour for what's going on at the letting agent that, remember, is representing you as the landlord.
That was one of my frustrations, of several frustrations with letting agents, when you don't have a certain point of contact. For example, you could have issues with if the photographs are not good, you want them redone. The key features, if it's got a private garden or it's got underground parking, make sure that's at the top of the description, not at the bottom. Repairs and maintenance, are the letting agents vetting the contractors and making sure that they're getting market value for all these repairs that's being done. On checkouts, are they too lenient towards the tenants? Are they letting them away with the delapse when really it should be coming out their deposit? There's various factors that I think that there has to be a good communication between the landlord, the tenant and the letting agent. But as I keep repeating, communication is essential.